The boy came running barefoot down the two-lane country road, one hand waving wildly, the other clutching his side. His white t-shirt was ripped, his face slick with sweat and panic. The first driver swerved around him. The second didn't stop either. By the time the third car braked, the boy was on his knees in the grass, crying so hard he could barely get the words out. "I need help. Please, she won't let me go." 2 days earlier, Raylan Carter was just another invisible kid behind a gas station counter. 18, fresh out of foster care. No family, no backup, no real plan. Just working graveyard shifts at the Chevron in Westlake Hills. The kind of place where rich folks bought Fiji water with $100 bills and didn't make eye contact. He'd been living in the storage room out back. A sleeping bag, a portable charger, and a box of canned ravioli. It wasn't legal, but it was quiet, safe enough. Then she showed up. Vivian Delacourt rolled into the station in a silver Rolls-Royce like she was lost in time. She wore black leather gloves, oversized sunglasses, and an attitude that soaked into the air around her. She said her car was making a funny noise, something under the hood. Raylan offered to take a look. She smiled, not sweet, not kind, more like amused. "Handy and handsome," she said, half joking. He thought nothing of it. Then she said, "I'll pay you $300 cash if you follow me to my place and fix it there." He hesitated. That was 2 weeks' groceries. She sweetened the deal. "I'll cook. Big kitchen, big estate. You'll like it." Raylan figured, why not? Nobody was waiting for him. Her mansion sat past the hills, behind a wrought iron gate, 10 feet tall and crooked with age. Ivy crawled up every break. A marble lion guarded the front steps. Inside, it smelled like lavender and secrets, velvet curtains, Persian rugs, an echo in every room. It felt like walking into a museum where time had paused or died. Dinner was roasted lamb and asparagus. Red wine he didn't drink. She asked too many questions. Where are your parents? Any siblings? Girlfriend? Boyfriend? When she offered him the guest room, just for the night, he said yes. She smiled again, more teeth this time. "You'll sleep like a prince." But when he woke up, the bedroom door was locked. His phone had no signal. The windows didn't open. The only thing new in the room was a folded note on the dresser. "Don't try to leave. It's not safe out there." And just below that, in a different handwriting, scratched into the wood beneath the drawer, "Run when the music plays." That evening, at dinner, Vivian said something that made his stomach twist. "You know, I used to foster children years ago. Boys mostly. Quiet ones, lonely ones. The world's cruel, Raylan. Not everyone is kind like me." He pushed his plate away. "I want to leave." Her hand froze midair, fork still between her fingers. Her tone stayed sweet. "Leave and go where?" "Home." Vivian laughed. "Short, high, cold. That gas station? That storage closet you sleep in? Raylan, sweet boy, no one out there even knows you're missing." That night, he searched the closet for his phone again. Still gone. But this time, in the bottom drawer, he found a small velvet box. Inside, a stack of Polaroids. The first one stopped his breath cold. It was him, Raylan, in the guest bed, eyes barely open, shirtless, clearly drugged, and behind him, Vivian, fully naked, lay curled against his back, smiling for the camera. He blinked. Once, twice. Then it hit him, the sore ache in his thighs that morning, the strange weight he felt in his chest, the dizzy haze he shook off like it was nothing. He hadn't imagined it. She had done something to him while he slept, while he trusted her. Another photo, another boy, same bed, same look. She had done it before. A new layer of sickness sank in. She didn't just take his body. She took his consent, his silence, and wrapped it in pity, in fake kindness, in plantation-style control. He remembered what she whispered earlier, "I give you more than this world ever would." It wasn't just abuse, it was ownership. Just after midnight, soft classical music began playing through the house speakers. A lullaby, faint, haunting. Raylan's pulse spiked. He remembered the message, "Run when the music plays." He shoved on his shoes, checked the hallway, clear. As he crept forward, Rosa appeared at the far end. She didn't speak, just pointed. A side door, unlocked. Raylan nodded once, heart pounding, then moved. But as he passed Vivian's bedroom, the door was cracked open. A glow lit the nightstand. Her phone. He darted in, hands shaking, thumbs swiping, dozens of Polaroids, some of him, some of others. Then he found the one that made his stomach twist. Her naked, him unconscious. He pressed share, message, typed in his number, and hit send. One ping, proof delivered. He tossed the phone under the bed and bolted. Halfway across the marble floor, he froze. Vivian was behind him, not in the flesh, but in the gilt-framed mirror. Her reflection smiled. "I said you'd sleep like a prince, but I never said you'd wake up free." Raylan didn't run, not at first. He stood frozen in the hallway, staring at Vivian's reflection in the mirror. Her eyes met his, calm, possessive, pleased. "You're not like the others," she whispered. He didn't respond, just turned slowly, keeping his hands low, his eyes steady. His heart thundered, but his voice was flat. "You drugged me." Vivian tilted her head like she was studying an animal. "I protected you." He stepped backward towards the stairs. "You touched me while I was unconscious. You took pictures." She didn't flinch, just smoothed her robe. "The world takes from boys like you, Raylan. It robs you, kills you, ignores you. I gave you attention, comfort. You slept like an angel." He nearly gagged. "That wasn't comfort, that was rape." Vivian's smile cracked. She dropped the mask. "Don't say that word to me. You don't understand how lucky you are. Out there, you're a stray dog. In here, you're mine. You had nothing. I gave you silk sheets, gourmet meals, a roof over your and my body. Anyone would do anything to have me in their bed, but I gave it all to you. You gave me a cage," Raylan yelled. The house seemed to vibrate with his voice. It was the first time he let himself yell. The rage poured out like it had been sealed under his skin for years. He turned and ran. Down the hallway, past the music room, toward the garage. The alarm didn't sound. The system was too old, too arrogant to think someone would run. He grabbed a valet jacket from the laundry room and the key fob Rosa had slipped him that morning. "Silver BMW," she had whispered, "not tracked." The garage door began lifting. Slow, slower than it should have. "Raylan, please!" Vivian's voice echoed behind him. Closer now, panicked. "We can still fix this. I didn't mean to hurt you. He turned and looked her dead in the eye. "You used me. You think because I'm black, poor, and alone that I'd be grateful to be owned?" Tears welled in her eyes, but Raylan didn't care. He'd seen enough tears from abusers who thought they were saviors. "You didn't save me. You stole from me." He slammed the car door shut and hit the gas. Gravel sprayed. The tires screeched. The iron gate scraped as it opened too slow, but he didn't stop. He slammed the BMW's door, engine roaring, tires shredding gravel as he tore through the iron gates. Branches scratched the car, headlights slicing the dark. But halfway down the road, his vision blurred. His chest tightened. His legs felt heavy. The food, the substance she had slipped into his dinner, the same poison she used to keep him half awake while she had her fun, was still working through his system. His body wasn't his own. He pushed the pedal harder, fighting dizziness. Minutes later, the car sputtered to a stop, gas tank blinking empty, his head pounding, his stomach on fire. Raylan bailed out, barefoot, stumbling, clutching his side. 7 minutes later, he stumbled into a 24-hour diner, his eyes red, clothes wrinkled. The waitress stared. "Are you okay?" He dropped to his knees. "Call the police." When the cops arrived, they didn't believe him. The first officer ran his name, found the report Vivian filed just 30 minutes earlier. Black male, 18, attempted burglary, mentally unstable. They cuffed him, rough. "Nice try, kid," the officer muttered. "We already got your file." Raylan's head dropped. Of course she'd thought of that. But just as they pushed him into the back seat, another car pulled up. A woman stepped out, early 40s, press badge, microphone in hand. "Are you the kid from the Delacourt estate?" Raylan nodded. "I've been following her for months. Others disappeared. Boys, you're the first to escape." The cops paused. "I have proof," she said. "Let him go." The cops froze when the reporter spoke. The air shifted. Suddenly, Raylan wasn't just a suspect. He was a story. Vivian's story. The officer holding Raylan's wrist loosened his grip. "What do you mean, proof?"
The reporter swiped her phone and held it up. Photos. Vivian with boys. Drugged. Unconscious. The captions were detailed. Timestamps included. I've been receiving these images for months, the reporter said, her voice steady. Anonymous tips, names, dates, descriptions. Always the same house, always the same woman. I didn't know who sent them. The younger officer's jaw dropped. The older one frowned, clearing his throat. Could be doctored. People fake things all the time. That's when Rose's voice cut through the night. Clear, strong, in English. It's not fake. I took the pictures. She made me. Every head turned. The silent maid, standing at the edge of the diner's parking lot, clutching her coat tight. She looked 10 years older than she had that morning. It was me, she said. Her voice didn't shake this time. I sent them. I thought if I told the police, they'd bury it. But I knew if I got them into the right hands, someone would listen. I never thought anyone would escape. Not alive. Raylan sat on the curb outside the diner, wrapped in a blanket the waitress had found in the back. His wrists were red from the cuffs, his eyes hollow. The night was quiet now, but inside his chest, the noise wouldn't stop. The cops were no longer looking at him. Their radios crackled with updates. Vivian's estate was being raided, evidence pulled from her safe rooms, hidden hard drives, storage trunks lined with velvet. She wasn't untouchable anymore. But freedom didn't feel like freedom. Raylan stared at his reflection in a puddle by the curb. The boy who had run barefoot down the road, shirt torn, lungs burning, wasn't the same boy now. Something had been taken from him, something invisible but heavy. The reporter crouched beside him. The world's going to know your story, not just what she did, but how this system almost let her get away with it. Rosa, standing nearby, added softly, "You survived. They didn't. That matters." Raylan looked up. His throat was tight, but his voice carried anyway. "She said I was lucky, that I should be grateful, that no one out there would ever care about me." He swallowed hard, eyes burning. "But the truth is, she was the one who was desperate. She needed me more than I ever needed her." The reporter hit record. Rosa held his gaze, and for the first time since he left that house, Raylan didn't feel invisible. The younger cop's radio crackled. A voice came through, sharp and urgent. "Units are inside the Delacourt property, confirming multiple victims' belongings. Repeat, evidence confirmed." Both officers looked at each other. The decision was made. Within an hour, Vivian Delacourt was dragged out of her mansion in handcuffs. Cameras flashed. Her expensive gown shimmered under police floodlights as she screamed at the top of her lungs. "He wanted me! They all wanted me! I gave them a better life! You'll regret this, all of you!" Her lawyer tried to block the cameras, but it was too late. The live stream had already hit 1 million views. Vivian's face, twisted with rage, mascara running, was now the face of a predator. This story reminds us, wealth can buy silence, but it can't buy innocence. Vivian preyed on the forgotten because she thought no one would believe them. But when truth speaks, even the powerful fall. So ask yourself, how many Vivians hide behind power in plain sight? And how many Raylans are still waiting for the world to listen? If you believe stories like Raylan's deserve to be heard, don't stay silent. Hit the like button, share this video, and drop a comment below. And if you want more powerful stories like this one, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.